What's going on, guys? Mr. Golden Sports back again and better than ever, bringing you another online ranked match. And today, and it's been highly requested a lot that we go ahead and get a game in with RG3, and that's exactly what we do. We go ahead and select the Washington Redskins, and my opponent goes ahead and selects the Detroit Lions. So definitely a nice even matchup, you know, as far as team selection. Couple things I have to worry about, obviously, is, you know, Dominican Sue. He's definitely a block shedding beast up the middle, so running HB dives or draws is really going to be tough, because anytime you run up the middle, he just seems to have a suction cup, you know, tackle, or just block shed his blocker and automatically, you know, tackle you. So, you know, running up the middle is going to be tough. And also, obviously, the best receiver on earth in Calvin Johnson. You know, I got to put a lot of focal point on him on defense. Offensively, I'm looking to take advantage. You know, they don't have too much speed on the Lions defense, so I'm looking to do a lot of work with Santana Moss and Pierre Garçon. I actually have them in my tight end slot. My first wide receiver I have is Brandon Banks, and then I have Fred Davis at the number 2 wide receiver, and then I have Pierre Garçon and Santana Moss at my 1 and 2 spot in the tight end position. I'm looking to get some mismatches. You know, hopefully I get a linebacker matched up with Pierre Garçon, or a linebacker matched up with Santana Moss or something like that. So hopefully I can, you know, catch a couple exploits, you know, a couple bad matchups. As you saw, we just threw a touchdown to Pierre Garçon right there with the pink gloves, looking like a boss. And now we're up 7-0, and that's exactly how, you know, I projected this offense to do. You know, find their weak points in their offense, which is just, you know, speed. You know, they don't have much speed, and I'm looking to, you know, just work the middle, work the outsides, and, you know, put in work with my speedy receivers, and that's exactly what I did that first drive. Right here, he's running the ball pretty good. We hold him to a 4th and inches. I call a run commit. I had a defender in the backfield, but he runs right by him. He ends up getting the first down. Right here, I expected a pass, and that's exactly what he does. But Calvin Johnson, with his route running of like 98, his speed 95, his height 99, being 6'5" or whatever he is, his beat press is 99, so it's really, really tough to do anything against him, especially with the small cornerbacks that I have, you know, at Washington. I think the best matchup I could have done to possibly stop him was going with the Seahawks. But, you know, Redskins have 2 good outside cornerbacks, but just don't really have the height to match up with somebody like that. RG3 right here, we're running outside the pocket a little bit. And as you see, I'm not going crazy just running the ball. You know, I know, right there, I feel like we should have had that right here. We got a 3rd and 10. We need this first down to avoid a punt. And we're looking, and I don't know how Hankerson comes up with that one in double coverage, but he ends up coming through. I don't even know why I threw it, but he somehow ends up coming up with the catch. Yeah, back to RG3, you know, 93 speed is absolutely, you know, insane to have at the quarterback position, but I'm not going crazy just running the ball, or, you know, only looking at one option and then running the ball with him if I don't find somebody open within 2-3 seconds. I'm standing in the pocket because I looked over his accuracy before the game, and it's really good. He has all 3 attributes, short, medium, long range, over 80, and on the run, I think it's like 90-something. So he has really great throwing accuracy. To my surprise, I didn't think his accuracy was going to be that high. So once I saw that, I was like, okay, you know, I'm just going to take advantage, because when you're going against RG3, you definitely want to, you know, maybe do some contains or spires or something like that, figuring I'm a run, but, you know, I want to stand in the pocket and look to, you know, find the mismatches that I have with these speedsters. So we're up 10-7 after a field goal, and he continues to start running the ball. 2nd and 5 right here. He runs the ball again, and here's his mistakes. 3rd and 1. What does he do? He ends up finding a wide open Washington Redskin, and we catch an interception. And not only do we catch an interception, we run it to the end zone for a pick 6. Why he's not running the ball on 3rd and 1, I have no idea. But thank you kindly. Thank you. He ends up throwing an interception, and we end up converting it to points. And then when things like that happen, you know, a lot of the times when I'm playing, my opponent seems to get out of his game plan a little bit. You know, even though he ends up scoring a huge touchdown right there with CJ, but he was doing really good running the ball, you know, and he kind of stops running the ball when you get behind the points, and that's how 98% of the time I win my games. You know, they'll throw an interception or fumble or something like that will happen, because I always prepare for the pass on every single defensive play. I always come out in quarters or dime or something like that, and I always prepare for the pass, and genuinely you're going to beat me on the run. I'm not afraid to say that. If you run the ball on me, you're going to have success because I always prepare for the pass. And, one mistake or one in or something like that, then they stop running the ball as we throw to Pierre Garçon over the middle for a touchdown to regain a 2-possession lead. And then they kind of get out of their game plan a little bit, and then another mistake happens, and then they fall behind, and then game's pretty much over at that point. So, as you can see, just look how his offense changed compared to that first possession where he was moving the ball and run pretty good. Like right there, he does a run, and we end up stopping him. So on 3rd and 8, he drops back, and he goes deep up top. He had it, but he ends up dropping it due to the contact. So on 3rd down, he ends up calling a play action, and he's looking, and man, this is why having dominant receiver is great. Look at the awareness that he has to tiptoe backwards in bounds. So right there, he tries a run play, and we end up stopping him, and he goes back to the play action, and he finds another wide open Washington Redskins. Come on, Matthew Stafford, you was not going to tackle me like that. Put your arms down, son. Excuse me, look at that. I'm getting so excited. I'm about to, clog up my arteries and have a heart attack right here live during the commentary. We end up doing another pick six, and again, he went from running the ball on 1st and 2nd downs to set up short 3rd downs if I were to stop him, to only running the ball once, ever so often, and then just airing it out. Now, he pretty much has to pass the ball a lot because he's down. So this makes it easier for me when you're, one-dimensional, and, I can just sit back and a coverage defense like I always do in quarters or dime and pretty much expect to pass. But even though it's still not that easy when you have somebody like Calvin Johnson going against, as he throws another interception and another pick six, we have just scored 21 points due to the defense. Now, I'm playing your basic man-to-man cover 1, cover 2, 2-man under or cover 1 defense, and he's just, throwing interceptions. Whenever I doubled Calvin Johnson, it just seemed like he just panicked because that was his number 1 read. He solely looked for Calvin Johnson, and I definitely had that happen to me a lot too. Like if I were to play with, the Lions or the Bears or even the, Cardinals or a team with a really dominant receiver, Andre Johnson, things like that, I just solely look at that one receiver and look for nobody else and then end up making mistakes. That's exactly what he's doing. I can tell he's only looking for Calvin Johnson. He's only looking for him, and then when I did have him covered, he ended up just forcing a pass somewhere else, and he's throwing interceptions. So I'm definitely using that to my advantage as he goes for a streak this time to Nate Burleson. Definitely wasn't expecting that. I was keeping my eye on Calvin Johnson, so he got me on that one. So he scores a touchdown, and right before halftime, of course we give up a touchdown right before halftime. Why wouldn't we? And 17-point lead going into halftime will definitely take that, even though he does receive ball. So he has the opportunity to make it a game if he scores here. Our offense has been pretty productive, but our defense has been doing amazing. Equaling him in points. He has 21, and so does my defense. So whenever that happens, that's really, really going to be tough to beat, to overcome 21 points that he just threw at me due to turnovers. So now he starts running the ball, and you see he's doing good running the ball. Again, I'm in either quarters or dime, preparing for the pass, and right there he tries a quick comeback route, but he drops it due to the contact. So 3rd and 5, he drops back, and he goes over the middle, and my guy was in position, but he had the awareness of a fork, so he ends up dropping it. And again, Matthew Stafford is stepping back in the pocket, going towards the right there, and he ends up catching it. 2nd and 4, goes over the middle. I felt like I should have had that, but I don't. And right here, he's really close territory, and right here, for whatever reason, he drops that quack, quack, quack. He ends up throwing a rubber ducky, and we catch another interception. Again, that's what happens when you try to force feed. Calvin Johnson is a beast. I know he's a beast. So is Pierre Garçon. Garçon. No, that man is not French, but when your name is Pierre, you get away with saying things like Pierre Garçon. But anyways, Calvin Johnson is a beast. I know he's a beast. Chris Berman knows he's a beast. Chris Johnson. Why am I getting these names mixed up? There's so many Johnsons in the NFL, and they are good. Calvin Johnson's mama know he's a beast. Everybody know he's a beast, but that don't mean that you need to give him the ball at all times, and that's exactly what he's doing. But when it works in situations like that, it's kind of tough not to want to give him the ball. 6 receptions, 229 yards. The guy's doing work, but right there, don't test the user. He's so disrespectful. Somebody, please give this man a link to my channel and let him know, do not throw the ball my way. The results are going to end up something like that. We had Calvin Johnson pretty much double teamed, and again, he forced the throw right towards me, and that's what happens with majority of the online players. If you're playing against somebody who does that, it's pretty much going to be an easy game when all they want to do is throw to one person, and then when they're locked up, they just force the throw towards somebody else, and it's just incredible how people play that way. I mean, again, I'm guilty of doing that myself, but I always catch myself like, okay, I'm going a little crazy. He knows I'm going to Larry Fitzgerald. I've been throwing to him consecutively. You know, I need to look for my other reads, and, you know, it's really tough to try and not do that. But when you do, it's really, really, really going to be tough to win, especially since he's throwing to other receivers. When he does, he's making mistakes. Right here up top, Calvin Johnson breaks the tackle. He's so strong. That man is so strong. That man definitely eats his protein. The dude is an absolute beast. Again, you can only hope to contain him. You can't stop him. He's too good. But the other times he did try to force something somewhere else, we end up capitalizing on that. And that's the difference in this game. As you see, RG3 is having a really successful game in the pocket. You know, I'm dropping back. I'm looking for my reads. I'm looking for my mismatches. And, you know, I'm taking advantage of the defenses that he's calling. Right here, again, we go over towards the right. And right now we're at a 3rd and 2. And, you know, we're playing pretty, you know, decent on offense. You know, not great, but, you know, good enough to go ahead and give ourselves a 20-point lead. It's our defense that has been the factor in this game. And again, it's really tough to beat somebody when you just hand over multiple turnovers. You know, whenever I make that many mistakes, it's really, really tough. Like, I barely win. If I'm gonna, you know, give you 4 interceptions, it's really, really. I'm not saying you can't, because, you know, I've had games where I'll throw 6 interceptions, but my opponent throws 6 interceptions as well. So, you know, and as you can see, he's throwing another interception, and he's just forcing bad passes. And Redskins really got good man-to-man defense, and that right there is the end of the game. I end up sending him a concede, and he ends up conceding. So we'll go ahead and we'll take our 10 points. And I want to thank you guys for all your love and support, man. It truly, truly, from the bottom of my heart, man, means a lot to me. I love each and every single one of you guys who take time out of your day to watch my videos, man. It really means a lot to me, and I really want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart, man. It really, really means a lot. You know, I love sitting back and just reading the comments. The support that you guys have for this channel really means a lot. Follow me on Twitter if you guys don't already. As always, you boys, GS signing out. I'm out. Base. Give it to me, baby.